Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys, and today I want to talk about twin turbo kits for your VQ motor. Yes, this isn't a VR motor. This is for the good old VQ37. Guys, let's go. Let's jump into the video. First thing, shout out to my Boost Emotion family. Much love. I appreciate you guys for your support. I actually got this video idea from Sebastian. Shout out to you, a fellow subscriber to the channel, and he said, "Hey, look, take a look at these twin turbo kits for the VQ37." Now, if you guys don't already know, there's a bunch of different companies out there who make twin turbo kits for the VQ37. This is for your Q50, 370, and G37, and anything else with a twin turbo. I mean, with a 3.7, but they probably won't fit. But anyways, guys, let's just jump into it. So the reason why I'm actually making a video talking about this, because there are other kits out there, is this is the first carb legal 50 state worthy twin turbo kit. So for guys that already don't know, if you get the Still and Supercharger kit, that's carb legal in the United States. That means you can go to the mission go to missions, no matter whatever state you're in, and you can get your car inspected, and they won't be like, take this off or nothing like that. You're good to go. So some people actually care about this because they don't want to have to take things on and put them off. Not a lot of states seem like they really care, but there are the ones such as California that is very pesky about these things. All right, so this company that makes this twin turbo kit, the name of the company is Enthusiast Auto Care. I'll put a link below to their website if you want to take a look at it. And we're gonna quickly go through some of the information. Hopefully, I'll make it boring. But at the end, I'm gonna tell you guys my opinion, what I think about this kit, because some of you guys actually care about what I say. So I really appreciate that. All right, so I already know the biggest con that you guys sit here and see is that price. We're looking at about 12.5. But after watching the YouTube video, shout out to Carazone, he's a fellow 370 owner, and a couple of other clips and stuff with people who have and other links that shows us other people who have purchased this kit. This is a full kit. Like there's no having to get anything extra. It comes with everything that you need compared to other kits that give you majority of everything you need. This is like a complete kit. So it's like you come with them with a stock 370 or a Q50, and you just put it in and it works. So let's go through some of the pricing, and they already put the carb number and everything. Like, bear with me, guys. Let me just move this around a little bit. All right, and put myself all the way up here. All right, so this is a tuner kit. Let's see what are some of the options here. So included and have a tuner kit, which you can save some money. But to be honest, guys, they include the extra stuff that you do need. I know they want to bring down the price. That's why they come up with the tuner kit. But to be honest with you, you want to get the full shebang right now. All right. So I'm not going to go through the Carazone's video because I don't really want to say, take clips from his YouTube video. But with this kit, it dynoed on 91 octane, about 430 wheel horsepower, and 400 pounds of torque. Most of you guys want to click this off right now. I get it. You want to click it off. You're like, this thing don't make no power. Guys, for them to be carb legal, they had to run the turbos a lot smaller PSI, also amongst other things, and what kind of fuel they're running. So this has to be the detuned version. Guys, these are GTR turbos on this car. These are OEM GTR turbos that they pretty much affix to the VQ37. So if you guys know the GTR, you know, depending on how that the VR38 runs, you're gonna make on E85 about 650 to 700 wheel horsepower on the VR38. So you're assuming, hopefully, you'll be making right around 6 to 700 on the 3.7 with additional. Well, I don't know, not too positive if there could be additional mods here, but let's go through it and let's take a look and see, because I'm still learning as we go. So, oh, I also want to show this other part here. There's another dyno sheet here, and they do a quick comparison. Now, this is how much the car makes. They actually compared this car to the Still and Supercharger kit of the same 91 octane, right? Because that's how the Still and Supercharger kit was pretty much made too, to be carb legal. 91 octane, minimum about a boost. Remember, the Still and Supercharger kit, you can make about 700 wheel horsepower with other accessory modifications and fueling, of course. So this street kit, if you look at the red line, the torque is astronomically higher compared to the supercharger kit. Remember, superchargers are linear, so they gain more torque as and horsepower you increase the RPM. But with turbo kits, we already know that we get the initial punch down low and the mid. So take a look. This car is driving very similar to, like, let's say a VR30. If you guys don't know this VR30 twin turbo, it has a large amount of usable torque on a low to mid range. This means this car is a very fun, peppy car from the gate. And compared to 300 wheels or 300 wheel torques of the Stillen supercharger, where the car is not as peppy. It all depends. But anyways, let me just get more into some of the information. Um, I'm gonna show you guys. Matter of fact, before I start going to it, let me go to the article. So this actually made it to a Motor Trend article, and I'm gonna quickly read that for y'all. So bear with me. Let me see. I'm trying to move myself off the screen. All right. So ever since Nissan rolled out the latest version of VQ engine used in 3.370, along with the Infiniti G, M, Q models, as well as a handful of others, enthusiasts had a hunger for more. Let's speed through this. This is not important. When power gets hungry, meets impatience. So Turkov explained that this forced induction there is a forced induction kit supercharger on the market for the VQ37, and it is fact emissions compliant, but includes some notable shortcomings. That kit produces sloped boost curve and delivers approximately 8 pounds of boost, but that level is realized only at redline. He says, "We wanted immediate, on-demand power rather than waiting for the redline to experience full boost," which makes a lot of sense. All right, what's in the box? More than just a main kit pieces and a handful of silicone couples, it includes a host of supporting mods, complete the install and deliver the utmost performance. It all starts with a pair of R35 GTR turbos, massaged by BT Tuning. So BT Tuning, I guess, does some kind of modifications to the housings. AAM Competition Stage 2 intercooler. Shout out to AAM Competition. They're the one who sponsored my blue Q60 a couple of years ago. Much love, still got much love to them guys. And all the necessary piping. Z1 Motorsports urethane adjustable engine mounts, oil pan spacer, and all also included, and a custom AC line to allow some additional clearance. The R35 parts bin are also rated for GTR recirculating valves. That's actually pretty dope. Recirculating valves are pretty much your blow valves, guys. When you let off the throttle, that excess boost is either evacuated to the air, like that's the blow valves you guys are used to, but when they recirculate, they go back into the turbocharger so that there'll be less lag, that you'll still have not so much of a huge difference in PSI or boost. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose that waste. And wastegate actuators and their Denso 650 injectors. All right. Let's see. All right, so let me go back to the other article now. Let me go directly from this website and let me see what they have listed here. Right? So now, this is emission compliant calibrations included. So launch control, 6-speed manual only, flat foot shifting, 6-speed manual only, pin locked, anti-theft mode, engine coolant overheat protection, and AFR failsafe. Includes 1 hour of dining time on our dyno jet. Fully equipped with every hose and every gasket needed to complete this installation. No trip to the parts store to additional parts. Okay. Now let's see what here. If there's anything here that's included, it just tells you what's going on. So BT Tuning adapter kit, we talked about that. It already tells you what type of GTR turbos that they're using. Compressor size 660 and inducer size 46, turbine 53, 48. They give you an oil scavenge pump because they also have a reservoir separate because they want to keep a certain amount of engine oil on tap, right? They give you a 340 LPH fuel pump. That's actually pretty good, but to be honest, guys, I always believe in going overkill for fuel. If you want to, you could. This one should suffice, but go up to like I hate to say a Hellcat pump. That it is what it is at this point. Denso 650cc fuel injectors. Of course, you're gonna need larger fuel injectors if you're gonna be. I'm assuming if you're going with, let's say, 6 to 700 wheel horsepower, and you're gonna be on E85, so you're gonna need the larger pump for E85, and you're gonna need, I believe, 1050, or it's gonna be 1,000 1,000cc fuel injectors. AM Stage 1 intercooler, the one that you guys saw, which I believe is good for like 800 to 1,000 wheel horsepower. Custom AC line, 4-bar map sensor, and Z1 more spacer. We talked about that, and we talked about a 25-row thermostatically controlled engine oil cooler. Of course, additional heat going into the thing. Of course, this is going to be tuned under EcuTech, and this is emission compliant. All right. So we already talked about it. Now they state kit peak peak potential has been dyno tested to show about 678 horsepower and 660 pounds of torque to the wheels. Now, that 660 to the wheels is too much for the VQ trans. The regular the VQ trans is only going to be able to take like 450, maybe like 500 before it like really starts slipping. So you're either going to have to build that transmission, or you're going to have to swap to a VR transmission in 2016 and up Q50s. And you can swap that into your 370Z if you choose to, right? And that transmission handles a lot more torque. So that's something that you can pay additionally if you're the guy who wants to get a better transmission rather than go spend $6,000 to $10,000 on a built trans. The VR way is a kind of your way around it, because you could get those transmissions for like $1,000. They're pretty easy to get on eBay. For more details, race build shown above. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at some of the photos. This is the kit. It's actually a good looking kit. It looks like you just have regular intakes. That's so lovely, isn't it? All right. They show you some of the stuff here, enthusiasts. This is how the front mount intercooler runs. I'm sorry, guys, bear with me. This is how the front mount intercooler runs. Okay, that looks good. I like that. And that's how the turbochargers sit. So, damn, they actually sit really close to the engine mount. So that's their exhaust manifold, and the exhaust runs that way. And this is where the intake, I'm assuming the intake would actually come in from this side and go this way. This is why they have the custom mounts. You see this? That's why they say they'll give you everything with the kit. Okay. Bear with me, guys. I'm still running through it, taking a look at it. Okay, so you see the power. All right. Okay, it shows you undercarriage. And then you could do it, I'm assuming you could either get it wrinkle powder coated or not, raw. And they have their own TIG welding. It looks good. All right, and that's how it looks from the side, from the turbo back. They'll give you all the heat wrapping and everything. That's actually pretty good. So they pretty much just developed a system for you guys so that y'all can run GTR turbos. I think it's actually pretty good. OEM. It's like an OEM plus setup. They had to make this one-off piece right here. Let me see. Let me bring it back up. They made this one-off piece right here so they can connect the exhaust side of the turbo to to your stock cats or any aftermarket cat system. That part right there. It's pretty dope. Like that. Pretty dope like that. What is this? Side mount intercoolers, I'm assuming. And those are the exhaust spacers and or what they use for the exhaust manifold on the side of it. Okay. That's pretty cool. So that's probably an adapter piece. I'm assuming that's an adapter piece so you can use the OEM GTR exhaust manifold and have that swap onto your VQ. That's dope. All right. After taking a look at it, I am gonna say my first opinion, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Number one, this doesn't say if this is for rear-wheel drive or not. I mean, only rear-wheel drive. I actually wonder if they could make this for all-wheel drive, because it says for all Nissan Infiniti equipped vehicles with the VQ, all supported models, but it doesn't say if this is for all-wheel drive too. I'm actually pretty curious on that. I did remember looking through this before briefly, but I don't see that. I'm assuming the reason why I'm looking at it is it's for 370Z, so there's a lot less clearance. But if the transfer case was right, or the differential was right here, I think it may be in the way, the exhaust, because it would be somewhere here. The axles will be somewhere right here. If there was a front differential, it'll be somewhere right here. I don't think it'll be here, because that's the engine oil and this is the front, that's the back. I think it'll usually be like somewhere right here, or go under the, I can't remember, guys. The engine mount is here. No, it would come right here, because the axle would usually always be above the cross member, from what I remember. It will be above the cross member and the engine mount, so it'll be somewhere right here. So I don't know if that would actually be in the way, but hopefully that information, someone would type it below and see if there's actually a little bit more information about it. But outside of that, I actually personally like it. Number one reasoning is, I think, in my personal opinion, it gives you a low end punch because these are a lot smaller turbos. Let me just click back over there. These are a lot smaller turbos, so they're gonna spool up very fast and they're gonna give you instant power. So pretty much OEM plus. So I do like that. I think that actually may work for the platform. It would make sense. Now, um, but as is out the box, I think it leaves a lot on the table. Hear me out. I'm just saying, because it's like, yeah, you paid for the compliance and you pay for everything that comes in the kit, but most people aren't gonna be getting this kit just because they want 400, a little over 400 horsepower. They want to get this kit because they want the quick. I'm assuming quick response from the turbos, because even the other aftermarket turbo kits, they're gonna be quick too, but they're more aimed to be making a lot more higher wheel horsepower. These things are supposed to spool up very fast because they're OEM style. Um, what I would also sit here and say is, okay, so other than the power limitations out the hole, because if they said even on 93 it goes up a little bit more. Of course, you can probably tune it a little bit higher than that, because once you get, let's say you got your Q50 all-wheel drive, you got this installed, right? And look at what the way the kit is. Of course, your tuner is gonna put you on 93, and they could tune you up to, I think on GTRs, a 93 tune could be like mid 500s, 500, so mid to low 500s to the wheel, somewhere around there, right? Mid to low 500s to the wheel. So he can tune you up to that. But even then, once again, the transmission is going to be limitation depending on how much torque they put. So you're probably only going to be making like high fours or low fives. I'm assuming just on 93, possibly, or maybe more. But even then, what PSI is that? Remember, this is a VQ motor. Hear me out. This is a VQ motor. You're not pushing a bunch of PSI into this motor. You're not shoving all it in there. Like, you're not running 27 psi on the stock VQ37. You're gonna lift the head. You know what I'm saying? These cars do a lot well with a large amount of CFM at a very low amount of psi. That's why usually you want to on the VQs, at least what the tuners has stated and said. That's why they rather a larger turbo or a supercharger where they make all the power lower in the power range, higher in the RPM range, so that it'll be less amount of torque and abuse on the rods and the bearings. So it leaves a lot on the table. Another downfall I could sit there and say is, yeah, this is a lot more additional torque being applied to the rods and bearings. So on the stock block, like, this will be a lot more beating, you know. So it, I don't, I mean, it can take. I'm assuming it could take the beating, depending on if you keep it at the 400 or a little bit lower. If you, that's why they have it detuned the way it is, because it's probably a lot more reliable. But most of you guys are not gonna do it for that. You're gonna want to turn it up, or you're gonna turn up the boost. So I I still see that most people want more, and I think wanting more will cost them more money. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be other additional things that they're gonna need to do as safeguards to protect themselves. Like, the way it is good, but they're gonna still have to do other additional things. Like, if you want to go a lot more faster and make a lot more power, start doing your bearings, do your rods, maybe a different, well, most, however you guys want to do the head studs on the VQ37. Maybe just want to build the motor. If it's automatic transmission, swap out to a VR trans. If you're manual, you're gonna have to upgrade the clutch on your 6 speed for this is for 370 guys or the G37 guys. So I think a lot of that stuff would actually come into play, and it's like, if you're spending all this money out the hole for what this is, I can see why the other kits may be better. Hear me out. I think that they might just be better because the glass ceiling is a lot higher. If this is compatible making 67 to 100 wheel, you can go with the AM competition kit, and there's a couple other kits out there that can make that power and more. Shoot, I'll even use the still in supercharger kit. Yeah, you go with a smaller pulley or the specific housing you supercharger you want, and you could be making 700, 750 wheel, depending on how much PSI you're running. You know what I'm saying? For about the same price as this, maybe even less. Because of course you want to go with like a Soho Motorsports upgraded intercooler or something like that. Because that's one of the most pivotal things. And of course, other fueling modifications. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know. And which one will last longer? It's a VQ motor, man. It wasn't built for boost, so it's gonna mess up. Um, but for what it is, I like it. I like it for what it is, but hate to say include boost on a budget. Like, I'm not gonna take away from the owner that made this beautiful kit. I think it's dope. Like, this is what people wanted like 5, 6, 7 years ago when we saw the GTR and the 37 was out. Like, we really wish we could swap the OEM turbos, and now someone went and did it. And it's like you have a person like me that's a YouTuber sitting there saying, "That's cool, that's nice, but it's just a little bit expensive." You get what I'm saying? So that's probably why they're making a tuner kit to remove a lot of the essential things that you might want to purchase on your own. Like, I'm assuming the tuner kit may include. Let me see if they might. If I press on tuner kit, would it change up everything that's included? Let's see. No, doesn't. It's still the same thing listed. So I would assume that the tuner kit, right? If it's 8,000, that would be more competitive to, let's say, the supercharger kit, right? But then I'm assuming that might be really limited on a lot of stuff. Like, of course, they'll give you the stuff that you can be able to install it and have everything work like oiling. But then I'm assuming that might remove the front air mount. It might remove that and a couple other things that they deem like, you know what, this is bare bones and it's a lot more affordable, a lot more cheaper. That's what I'm assuming. You know, like, no, like they may not include like the additional oil stuff. I'm assuming like it might just be just bare bones. Like, will it work the way it is out the hole with all the stuff not included? Yes. You know, so I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean, and I'm gonna be so mean right now. So don't get mad at me. I don't know how much it costs for them to make the kit. So if it cost, at the end of the day, there needs to be a profit here. So I'm assuming, right? If I was developing the kit and I put all the time and effort in, I would know if I sell each kit, I would make like at least 20 to 25% off of each kit, and that's being like, at the minimum. So it may not cost them this much to make this kit. Of course it doesn't, because they make money. So they got to get two OEM turbos. Whoever's doing the massaging of the turbos, or if they're changing out the turbines for it, or whatever they choosing to do, because we don't know if that's two. Or this is, I don't really know too much about GTR turbos, so I don't know if they are the OEM ones, or like, let's say like a pure turbo, they upgrade the propellers of them, of the hot side and the cold side. I don't know if it is an upgrade. That's even better. At that point, I would want, or let's say, I hate to say, like, what about the Nismo turbos? Like these things, how much do these things really cost brand new? Which again, I don't know. And amongst other things that they have to pay time and welding and cutting up. So it's like, it's probably not much people involved making this kit. So like, I could see where they need to make their money and make their bread. I would wish, I think for them to be competitive, I think they might need to bring the price down from 12 grand, in my opinion, and that's probably why they bring in the $8,600 kit, and so it can be a lot more affordable. Cause if I spend $12,000 on have a 370Z just to have someone that's still in supercharger that bought it for like 6 or 7 grand, and then the pulley and the fuel and all this other stuff will come and just steam engine me, and I'm like, yo, he spent all this money extra on just stuff. You can spend all that extra money and buy the front mount from Soho and everything, and that car would be running 650, 700 wheel blown by me, and I'm like, I just spent 12 grand. I'm over still 400. Like, I mean, of course, the tuner could turn it up for you, but by how much? You're gonna want to start running E to make additional power and a couple other things too. So it's like, you know, so it's just my opinion, guys. Don't beat me up. I still think it's a great kit, and I'm happy that someone took the time out to go out there and make it. I remember my money is not involved in this. I know I'm saying the same thing again. It's just in case the owner watch. Anybody else watch, I still love VQs, but I can see where it's like, damn, they did this to become carb legal, but it's like, damn, for the people who are gonna get this kit, they're not getting it to be 400 or something. They're looking for that 550, 600, maybe 700 on full E, or 93 on like mid to low fives. They're looking to do that. I think this kit could probably definitely do the mid to low fives on 93, and you don't have to do too much. I'm assuming not too much additional miles. Let's say the fuel pump, if you're on 93. These stock injectors might be just enough, suffice for 93. Just saying. After that, I think that you're gonna have to definitely go with E, but we'll have to wait and see. But outside of that, guys, that's just my opinion. Don't beat me up. Just having a conversation with y'all. And I really appreciate you guys showing your support. Thank you, Sebastian, for sending me this, because I appreciate that you actually wanted to hear my opinion on the kit. If we actually see a line with it, and I mean, yo, at the end of the day, I love to help any small business. Guys, take your time, look into this business, see um, what they're doing, and make sure that I don't want you guys to get robbed, man. There's some people that I recommended on my channel, or I showed on my channel, and some people didn't get their stuff, and I'm still salty about that. But in this case, this looks good. This looks good. Hopefully, it can make it for all-wheel drive. If they do make it for the all-wheel drive Q50, I think, in my opinion, if they make this kit for the all-wheel drive Q50 3.7, I think this may be the only kit that probably could compete with a VR30 Q50. The only one from a dig. From a dig. Hear me out, from a dig. Because if it's a supercharged Q50, it can't compete with a stock turbo VR30. It cannot compete. Yes, it might make 700 wheel. Then it could finally start pulling them in later down the line. But that stock turbo Q50 is out. Out. I kind of wish they would have. No, I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say that next opinion. So we'll wait and see. But outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. I really appreciate you. You can send any ideas like this to my boostinmotion at gmail.com, or you can send me this link or links like this to boostinmotion on IG. All right, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you.